as, and it's more like 20 cigarettes a day. Mary Aldred, member for Monash, is co-chair of the Coalition's new Illegal Tobacco Task Force. Good morning, Mary Aldred.
Good morning, Mim.
What is your reaction to hearing Az talk there on a pension, saving hundreds of dollars by being able to buy cheaper tobacco that could be unregistered, unlicensed, illegal, could be involved, it could be crime gangs that are selling that, but he's saving hundreds of dollars and was going to smoke these anyway, probably having a healthier life by saving that money. It makes it a bit more of a convoluted conversation, right? Because if people are addicted and they're going to spend the money anyway, is there a deeper problem here than just crime gangs? Are cigarettes just too expensive?
I've got a lot of sympathy for Az, and I talk to a lot of people like him who are buying illegal cigarettes on the black market for those very reasons. And there's four key things here, Mim, which is why we need to address this illegal tobacco issue. Number one, people are not stopping smoking. So the whole point of having an excise tax is, yes, the government gets to collect revenue, but it is a price point. It changes behaviour in theory to try and get people to stop smoking, which is what we all want. The issue is the excise tax has gone up by 282% since 2018. So it has gone well beyond that point, and that is driving people to the black market. The second issue with that is that, you know, there's estimates that the government's losing up to $10 billion in lost tobacco excise. So that's $10 billion that's not going towards roads, schools and hospitals, which we use that funding for. The third reason is a lot of the proceeds of the illegal tobacco trade are going towards criminals, as you've said, outlaw bikie gangs. In the case of Kazim Hamid, the fellow who's been jailed in Iraq, he was tied to the firebombing of a synagogue in Melbourne, so there's links to terrorist activities. And the other issue is I'm talking to a lot of small businesses, grocers, retail staff who are really worried about ram raids, assaults on staff, violent thefts. The community is at risk at the moment, and so we have to do something because the current situation's not working.
Is the solution making cigarettes cheaper again? Things keep happening. I always pick up rubbish if I'm near water. Something about rubbish near water I can't handle. And the amount of cigarette butts that you find along our waterways, and they have written on them now, I don't know what it is. This cigarette's killing you, or those kind of messages. But people are just popping that cigarette butt in their mouth and smoking it, and it's not stopping that person smoking. So what's the deeper solution here, Mary Aldred?
Well, the shocking thing is, Mim, for the first time we're starting to see an increase in Australia in smoking. So Western Australia, for example, have just had an increase in the last 2 years in smoking rates. They've, for the first time in 30 years, if you look at the Criminal Intelligence Wastewater Report, more people have nicotine in their system now than they did 8 years ago. So those are the facts. And I've been arguing that we need a Swiss Army knife type of approach, that there's no one silver bullet that's going to fix this problem. And Senator Richard Colbeck and I, who's the other co-chair of the Coalition's Illegal Tobacco Task Force, we've been charged with putting together a number of recommendations and ideas, but I have done a lot of work on this since the firebombing of the Longwarry grocery store in my electorate and talking to people impacted. I think looking at the excise tax, which I personally think is too high, I think looking at dropping that, not completely, and that alone is not going to fix the problem, but that needs to be part of it. We also need to look at stronger enforcement, better resourcing the AFP, Border Force, because we've got illegal cigarettes coming into the country as well as being stolen from retailers here. So law and order, enforcement, the excise tax, a multi-pronged approach.
Okay, and look, this text is saying, oh my God, are we really giving this the time of day? You don't like it, stop smoking. Increasing the price of cigarettes has been the greatest contributor to people quitting. So why would we get rid of that? So, as you say, a Swiss Army knife, for some people, the price of cigarettes has stopped them smoking. Chrissy from Yarram says, I was a very heavy smoker, But when cigarettes were costing more than the food bill, I threw half a packet in the drawer and stopped smoking. That was 24 years ago. Go you, Chrissy. How did I stay strong? By telling myself I am now in control of what I put in my body, and I stuck with it. That's Chrissy in Yarram. So, yeah, and then we heard from Az before, who is addicted and was smoking whatever they cost, but having them cheaper is saving a pensioner a lot of money. There's some complications to it, Mary.
There are, and I want to say well done, Chrissy in Yarram, for giving up smoking. It is a very, very hard thing to do, so well done you. But 14 years ago, a legal packet of cigarettes would have been in the sort of $20 range, if that. Now we're looking at for a standard pack, I think about $55, and about 28 of that goes to the ATO in excise revenue. So I'm arguing that, yes, excise has a role to play. We call them sin taxes. They're on a few different products beyond just tobacco. The idea is that it can change behaviour, but if it goes over a certain price point, that's when it does send people towards a black market, and the consequences of the black market are really bad. And it's not just the funding of organised crime and bikie gangs that the proceeds are going towards. I heard from a lady who lives in a regional area. She doesn't have an illegal tobacco outlet near her, so she orders her illegal cigarettes online, and she said, look, I realise in doing that, I'm actually giving my credit card details and my home address to essentially organised crime. And so that's why it is a really big issue in Australia right now, and we do need to give it the time of day.
Thank you very much. Mary Aldred is member for Monash with the Liberal Party. This is ABC Gippsland. Good morning. Mary, just quickly, Darren Chester, your colleague here in Gippsland, he's for the National Party for the seat of Gippsland, is now Deputy Leader of the National Party. Is your reaction to that, Mary Aldred?
I think that is a great result for the National Party, for the Coalition and for the Gippsland region. I've known Darren a long time, since I was at the Committee for Gippsland, so about 15 years. He is passionate, he is tireless, he is smart as a whip, and I know that he's going to have regional communities like ours at the heart of everything he does in that role. So I'm very happy for Darren. I'm very happy for our region.
Thank you very much. Mary Aldred, member for Monash. Joe